That dang camera on.
It's a whole universe.
Get it out of my face.
Hey guys, I'm Kyler Wilson.
I'm Monica Cassert.
And this is the before, the after, and...
The after.
Woohoo! So Monica tells me that sweatpants are in.
All the time, bros.
We are on our way to the theater, and we'll talk about what to see in just a moment. Okay, so we get to start the day finally.
Who was ready? I was ready. I was ready. All day I was ready. I was ready.
Okay, this never happens, ever. It's always Monica's, you know, she don't start with me. She's always the one like lagging behind, always trying to, you know, rush, and then she gets all frustrated. And today, that is not this day. This day has actually been very bizarre so far. We got a very, very weird phone call asking to check our stove. That was fun. Then we got all the way to the store, and I forgot my, what we'll call a wallet. That sucked. It would have been worse though. At least we looked up. Sometimes we'll just go to the theater because we'll just kind of go on a whim. Not so much recently, but in the past we've just gone, and we'll go to whatever showtime, you know, is going to be soonest, and then we'll kill some time, kind of like you guys have seen. But we checked last night. We checked to see theater showings at our theater for Ex Machina, which is what we're gonna go see and review today, and they're not showing it. We're heading to Dr. Mills now.
Thank God I have the Regal app and found that.
She's finally fixed her issue of the Regal card, which is awesome. So, what do we know about this film?
We know that it is done by the same guy that did 28 Days Later.
We know that for a fact.
Sunshine, Dread, the new Dread, which I liked. Most people didn't.
I liked visually, but I mean the movie was dumb. I think
he also did The Beach, which I have yet to see.
Oh, with Leo?
Uh-huh.
That was a good film for rewatch. I didn't like it when I first saw it though.
So, but ultimately, apparently what I read today, to verify, basically a coder wins a contest to go research a product, which turns out to be a Robo-Woman thing, and basically some crazies happened. They did really they made sure that they didn't put too much into descriptions. I tried to read multiple ones, and they were all very, like, I was clicking to make sure that there wasn't a full paragraph.
Yeah.
However, the interesting thing is that, well, I guess for the most part, it's got 90% on Rotten Tomatoes already.
Has it?
Yes.
The only thing, see, I don't know anything about this movie. I saw one little teaser trailer, but the trailers that have been showing on like Hulu and everything, they don't.
See, I thought,
they don't say anything.
when I was watching
really.
my British television on Hulu, I saw the commercial. I thought it was for a new show. I didn't really pay much attention, but I thought it was for a new show that there was going to be on Hulu from BBC. But Kyler asked me about it one day, and I was like, that new TV, or no, the commercial came on again, and I was like, what is this? And I was like, that's that guy off that show, which turns out it was for Ex Machina. And so, yeah, I thought it was going to be a show.
And
I was like, this would be a cool show.
And the trailers really just don't tell you a whole lot about this film at all. Like, so I've seen one trailer, and it's on Hulu, and it was just a bunch of imagery.
Yeah, ultimately what's dragging everybody in, I think, is this robot woman thing.
And I saw one review on Machinima UTC from those dudes, Ricky and
Barry.
Yeah.
Guy with the glasses like mine.
Yes, exactly. And they said, don't watch the trailer, just go see it. And I mean, that being said, I saw this one trailer by just happenstance. It did not show me anything about
It
this
doesn't
movie at
show
all.
anything, just like the descriptions. That's why I was like, okay, what are they doing to us? I mean, I guess when 28 Days Later came out, I mean, I remember the previews being zombies. I'm like, everybody likes zombies, but it went a little bit more in depth. It got a little bit more fancy. And then the same thing with Sunshine, again,
Sunshine
was
was
another
awesome.
one. Like, you're like, what is this movie about? And then you actually watch it, it's like intense.
I'm pretty excited about it. The imagery that I saw looked really cool. It looks like it's probably a lower budget film. I don't know if you can confirm that.
See, the movie you thought I watched Ex Machina, but it was called The Machine. I remember you asked me the other day, you was like, didn't you watch Ex Machina? I was like, no, I watched, it's called The Machine, is what I watched. But, yeah, 78% on Metacritic.
Can you hop over to Box Office Mojo real quick and see if they have a budget? It should say budget, or it might say NA.
Production budget says NA.
Yeah, so this is NA on Box Office Mojo, which means one of two things: either it hasn't been reported to them yet, or it's a low budget film. I'm betting that it's a low budget film. I mean, that being said, they've put a lot of money into marketing. I don't know. This is a complicated one. And keep in mind, when I say low budget, we're not talking like $500,000. We're talking, $10 to $15 million would be considered like indie low budget. So I think that it's probably around that range myself. Even the special effects that I did see, I wouldn't say they were the most realistic looking thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, but I think it plays well.
I mean, I think it looks good, but yeah, I just don't, I wouldn't like nominate it for a special effects Oscar or anything. So yeah, anyways, I'm excited to see it. I mean, you're excited to see it?
Yeah.
Fairly. So hopefully we'll come out on the opposite side of this thing and be awesomely surprised, and we'll let you know how it is. In the meantime, you're going to see a place that we haven't seen yet. We're not going to go to a whole lot in this place because we don't have a ton of time, but Opry Mills, it's a pretty cool big place, so we're going to probably walk around it at least once, and we'll see you there. Peace! What?
I said in and out.
This woman. Anyways.
No!
We'll talk to you guys in a bit. And we're back at the lovely Regal Cinema IMAX. And once again, just to reiterate, we're going to see...
It smells like bacon. Burnt
We are
bacon.
not going to see It Smells Like Bacon. We're going to go see... Yeah, there's a Monkey Kingdom film that we've been talking about. We're going to go see Ex Machina, and hopefully it's going to be amazing. And this is organic green tea. It's where the home is. It's where the heart is. Watch what happens. Oh! Anyways, this is what we're gonna go see. Oh.
Hey girl.
I forgot.
Hey girl.
what this
Nice
movie was.
ass.
That lady had the cutest little joke. The phone wasn't working, but the smartphone for the app wasn't working for her. And she looks at it and she goes, "Come on, I'm smarter than you." 4 tokens, here we go. Okay.
You get how it works now?
Yeah. Oh no. You get, it doesn't let you.
That's hilarious.
You have to get it in one. This is a
So
scam.
technically we can get I know, right? Imagine trying to get up, like... oh, so you can go...
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Oh no.
Ooh.
One more.
This is gonna be your thing. We're just gonna sit right here.
We're not seeing the movie anymore. We're not going to see the movie.
It's so simple.
We're not going to this movie.
We're gonna get us a little quad core processor or something.
Come on. Come on. Give it to me. Give it to me.
No!
No.
one.
No.
We're gonna get that. We're gonna get it.
This is the last one. I already went through $5.
Oh my god.
These are typically my kind of games, though. Come on, girl.
So, I'm going to be perfectly honest here. I do not miss you right now.
Why? Monica.
That dang camera on.
It's a whole universe.
Get it out of my
Fun plus fun. Check our website for upcoming.
Okay. So I liked it a lot.
I liked it too.
Um,
Sorry, I'm sleepy. No, it was. It delivered a good story. You know, I don't feel like. I don't feel like. I guess everybody's probably gonna go in expecting this to be like an iRobot situation, and
don't go into this thinking that it's an iRobot situation.
it's not. It's more story instead of glamorous shoot 'em up.
This movie wants you to think. It wants you
really
to think
does.
about life and
The dialogue was so witty and guess smart.
Oscar Isaacs, man, like I could not stop watching him.
He delivered really well, and the main guy, he's okay for that. He was okay for what it was. I know he's a better actor than that because I just watched something where he actually played a robot.
Oh, really?
But I think
Stand by as we enter the car.
I hated that he didn't have his English accent, but
There was no real reason, I guess, that it should have been any different. So.
But anyway, no, it's definitely it was just so intriguing throughout. I didn't find a moment where I was bored.
No, this movie is super engaging, and
It really is.
and
And
like on level with like Interstellar in terms of the way that they use soundtrack.
Yeah.
Like their score fit the images on the screen so well, I think.
Yeah, it really did.
Beautifully acted. By everybody. It's not the main kid. He didn't have a whole lot of opportunity to really blow anybody away, but he did his part well. Oscar Isaacs, though, geez, like, where did he come from?
And
Like,
people didn't like him. I thought
he was fucking.
I'm glad
great.
they did not make the scientist the usual boring blabbermouth.
just like
blah.
geeky
He was an
fucking-
actual scientist, knew that he was good at it, but also was a human and not just restricted to his work. He was also, a drunkard, which, most awesome people sometimes are. But he just wanted, I like that he was not just a normal crazy mad scientist. He was a human.
Yeah, and
mad scientist.
And for those of you who don't know, again, going into this film, you don't know a whole lot about it, but the one thing I'll tell you is it's basically about how Google is going to take over the planet.
It wasn't just a universal, oh my god, we created this machine that can manipulate everything. No, they took what we use every day.
Yeah.
And created
I'll
that.
say 100%, like, they did a great job of making me feel like the science is practical.
Right,
so
yeah.
it comes off more like science real
Very
than
possible.
science fiction.
I didn't feel like it was really.
Obviously it's science fiction, but it feels very, very real the way that they put it together. And again, this has got to be a lower budget movie. Now that being said, the CG looked great.
Yeah.
It looked great. And I didn't give it enough credit going in to the theater. I thought that the CG looked like fine in the previews, but it looked great. It really, really, really stood up. So great job on that to whomever did it. And very basic screenplay, very basic shoot, one location, multiple rooms. It was great. That's a thing that I love about this movie the most is it doesn't shove exposition down your throat. There's like one time where they have to kind of give you some forced exposition and it's on the explanation of what this test is, called a Turing test.
Touring.
Turing test.
Because most people don't know. People that don't watch science stuff don't know. But I
they
know what it was because I watch science stuff.
But you know what they didn't do is they didn't do what every movie, even in the last 20 years, has done. AI? Yeah. Do you mean artificial intelligence? Like, they didn't do that.
We're at the time of day where we should know what AI
Exactly.
is.
It's just exposition that we don't need. But the Turing test, I think a lot of people probably would not have known what that was. So, fine. That was the one instance they had to kind of give us some exposition. But otherwise, everything came out very natural. I mean, this felt very, very good.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm saying go see it. Like, you guys should go see it. It's I think totally worth a cinematic experience at the theater. Stop yawning.
I can't help it. I'm hungry and I'm sleepy at the same time.
I think this is totally worth seeing at the theater. I think it's gonna fit people who like, lower budget indie films as well as higher budget blockbusters. Like, it's engaging enough to, I think, fit both audiences.
Right. So don't go and expect an iRobot, because that's not what you're gonna get.
This is true, because you're not getting iRobot.
This is a story. Story.
You are, in a weird way, getting an episode of the Animatrix, though.
Yeah, I felt like it was fairly similar to the movie I just watched the other day, which was The Machine.
Gotcha.
It had a very similar plot to it.
So, it's not like we're saying this is the most original film that's ever been made, but it's definitely thought-provoking enough that I think you should go see it. So, me and Monica both say see it, right?
Yes.
And she will not stop yawning.
I don't. Every time we film.
I need one of you guys to call her out in the comment section and let her know that she's got to stop yawning.
Every time we film, I'm yawning.
Anyways, so yeah, go see it and stay tuned after these messages for the full review. These messages brought to you by
Yawning.
Okay, yawning it is. Are you tired as balls? No problem. Just have a can of Wake the Hell Up. That's right, you too can be like Monica and wake the hell up.
Hey guys, I'm Monica Kasurek, and you might recognize me from the fabulous YouTube channel Movie Holics, and you might have noticed in a couple of our episodes that I am yawning. But then I got a can of Wake the Hell Up, and I woke the hell up. Wake the hell up today.
Sold in limited quantities at a Movie Holics near you. Wake the hell up, man! Okay, so we would typically have waited till tomorrow, which is Monday, I believe, to film our reactions. But we saw this movie today, and we just wanted to go ahead and get it out. We enjoyed it a lot, so here we are. We're going to do it. So one thing in our before and after, I'm sure you guys saw, but our theater wasn't hosting it, so we had to go to a different theater. So you got to see a little something different. But the previews this time were a lot shorter. I don't know if that's a venue thing.
Yeah, that's a good question.
It's a movie thing. There are only 6 previews in this one, and we were very happy about that. We like previews. Mm-hmm. But good lord, 9 to 10 previews.
It's pushing it.
Like, that's insane, because they're 2.5 to 3 minutes a piece. I mean, like, it turns a 2-hour movie into a 2.5-hour movie, and so on and so forth. So,
right.
Anyways, the previews this time. Well, first off, have you guys? This is more of just a question, but has anybody ever participated in the Fathom events that Regal Cinemas do? I mean, they advertise all these live shows and everything, but I've never seen one. It's like, or not live show, but it's like a performance that they put up on the screen and everything. I've never seen one. I've never known anybody to see one, so I'm just curious if any of you have ever. So Anyways,
That's a good question.
that was it. But so let's get started. The trailers. Before I Wake. This was the Dreams Come to Life film.
Oh yeah. I don't know. It looked like it was gonna be very pretty visually. Not necessarily pretty, but more. It kind of reminded me of like Pan's Labyrinth type of.
Yeah, I can feel you. So this trailer is like this little kid gets adopted, and apparently his dreams and nightmares come to life. But it's not a kids film, so don't get us wrong. It's apparently it looks like it's probably going to be a PG-13 horror film. But yeah, visually it did look pretty cool. It was a pretty intriguing trailer.
Yeah, as far as the story, I mean, when's the
It's
last
kinda
time you've seen a dream come to life? I guess.
Yeah, it's kind of
Freddy Krueger.
it's kind of like a retelling of A Nightmare on Elm Street in a weird way. Maybe this is his origin story.
Dun dun dun. The origin before the origin.
So who knows? We'll wait to see other trailers, see if it's worth checking out. But next one was Maggie. Now I don't know about her, but I'm really excited about this film.
I'm kind of on my fence about this film because I don't.
It's an Arnold Schwarzenegger film, and it's a zombie film. Now I know that the last time we trusted the zombie genre to an A-list actor, didn't work out so well. World War Z.
Oh, that's what I'm like skeptical until I actually go see it. I feel like the story could have great potential, but ultimately, Garrett, as to how it's going to play out.
I think the trailer looks great. I would like if we're just talking about based on the trailer, would you go see the film? I would definitely go see the film based on this trailer.
I don't think I would.
She would not. There you go. The two great minds collide. Next one, The D Train. Look, man, I like Jack Black.
No!
But man, this movie looks terrible.
I think he has officially deemed himself to sit down somewhere.
Like, and the clean shaven look for him
It's weird.
does not work, man. Does not work. He looks like a giant baby.
But just the idea of the movie, it's not intriguing at all.
No, it's about a guy who's trying to get everybody to come to his class reunion. Like, he's just trying to get the people who should be going to the class reunion to participate. And he's
People don't do that.
Like, yeah, I mean, I thought everybody avoided trying to go back.
My high school tried to set one up, and due to only like 10 people wanting to go, they shut the entire thing down. We have not had a reunion.
I wouldn't go to. I mean, like, I don't want to. I mean, I'm sorry, guys, that I went to school with, but I don't want to like.
I think Facebook has pretty much taken that over.
I guess that's the thing. Is like I see what you guys do on a daily. I mean,
Do I really have to go talk to you about it?
Yeah,
and I can just talk to you on Facebook.
I mean, I know that you all are censoring your lives and it's all BS, but I mean, still, it's all BS at a class reunion anyway. That's all it is. It's just a show.
I guess that's what the movie's about. How it's dying.
Maybe so. Anyways, I'm definitely not gonna see this. I mean, like, if I get paid to go see this movie to review it for you guys, maybe I'll go see it. But
ultimately,
I'm not gonna go see this film. So next, Aloft, not Aloft like the hotel brand. Aloft. It's artsy Cillian Murphy, Jennifer Connelly film.
I don't know what to expect from it.
Yeah.
At all. The preview looked nice, and it's like one of those previews where you just can't tell what this is gonna be about.
There's talk about his mother abandoning him, and then she has like healing powers or something. But then they talk about like the power of healing with love, and I mean I don't know. It looked pretty.
I'm scared it might be too artsy to understand.
Well, it felt like Tree of Life to me.
Yeah.
And I know that some of you gotta like Tree of Life. I like Tree of Life from a technical standpoint, but that movie is boring. So that's what this movie kind of looked like to me. So based on this trailer, I wouldn't go see it, but I'm not saying that I won't. I mean, we might get another trailer or something that gives us better look and intrigues me more. I'll probably end up watching it though. It's got 2 A-list actors. I'm definitely down to watch it. But yeah, I'll skip it at the theater probably. Next, Poltergeist. Again. Who cares?
It's to the point where I feel like I watched a movie and I don't need to know anything else.
I'm actually over it. Yeah, I'm totally over it. Like,
They had nothing else to put in that slot. But
Yeah, I can't see myself wanting to see this at the theater. I mean, it's basically a shot-for-shot remake. Most of you hated the Psycho remake that was the same exact thing. I mean, this is basically that. Like, no, it's not shot for shot, but like it's the exact same story. You even see the house in the preview getting destroyed, which is what happened at the end of the original film. So, I mean, I just can't. And Monica pointed it out. That little girl's face when she gets yanked up the stairs, totally CG.
It just looked weird. It looked like
Totally
it looked
CG. I didn't notice it until she said something about it the last time that we saw a trailer for it, and then I really paid attention to it this time, and it
looks bad.
100%
CG.
looks bad. I mean,
I understand you can't drag a 4-year-old girl upside down up the stairs for real,
but it looks bad. I mean, it's distracting.
Did they really have to CG that right before she gets pulled? Like, I feel like they could have had her sit there.
The only thing
then
I can think is if maybe it's a practical effect, they're actually pulling a body up and it's a stunt double that they put her face on. Maybe. I mean, they've done that before.
That makes
Jurassic
sense.
Park did it, 20 some odd years ago with that blonde-haired girl. That remember she's like hanging from the air ducts or whatever, and the raptors are below her. That's actually a stunt double, and they put her face on it. So, I mean, maybe it's something like that, but this just looked bad. I mean, the Jurassic Park girl looked way better. So, anyways, yeah, I think we'll be skipping it probably. And again, if we get some sort of request to go do it, maybe we'll do it. But it's not looking good. Last one that they advertised was an Amy Winehouse documentary called Amy.
It looks pretty sad, honestly.
I'm betting that they tried to make her go to rehab. And
She said no.
She said no.
I think that's for real, though. It is for real.
I mean, it does look like a pretty fascinating documentary. She's kind of talking. I guess I'm guessing that it's before she got big. Is where that audio came from.
Yeah.
She's basically saying like, I won't be able to handle stardom if I ever get famous. Well,
She
was
said
right.
it out loud. People
Um,
can't handle it. All
so-
people can't handle it.
I don't know what kind of, if this is going to get a theatrical release or not. I mean, documentaries don't typically do very well in the theaters, so I'm betting that it'll go straight to DVD. But who knows? I mean, it looked like a fairly fascinating documentary, though.
Yeah.
So, and she was a fan of Winehouse, right?
Yeah, I like Winehouse.
I
She's
don't.
pretty.
I don't listen to music, so sorry. Anyways, that's the trailer wrap up. We're gonna move right on to the movie. Now, there will be spoilers in here, but I promise we will let you know when they're happening. We're gonna talk about kind of some generic stuff that we would talk about with any film first, and when spoilers get brought up, we will absolutely let you know. Spoiler time. So to kick it right off, let's just make sure they understand what it's about.
So the movie follows a young programmer that gets selected to go view or observe, I guess,
experiment.
experiment.
He's going to actually facilitate the experiment.
Because they didn't make it clear what exactly in
Well,
the beginning.
yeah, so this dude has no idea what he's going there for, but we ultimately find out 5 minutes
He
in.
knows it's big.
He's getting brought to essentially the owner of Google's house. I mean, it's not Google, it's a fictional company called Blue Book that is like a giant search engine conglomerate company like Google. And he's there to work on something. He doesn't know what when he gets there, but we find out again immediately. He's there to he's there to help facilitate the experiment of what they call a Turing test. Turing. 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 And that is basically a way to see if AI has consciousness. So that's what this film is about. And then the subsequent days, he's there for a week. The subsequent days of every one of these sessions. What'd we think?
I liked it. I thought it was very well laid out. I thought the story itself was pretty intriguing and, again, laid out fairly well. There wasn't, for me, I didn't have many questions like I know some people had. I didn't have
it definitely
many questions.
seems straightforward to me, and we'll talk about the questions later, but definitely felt very straightforward to me. It didn't lose me ever.
Right.
I mean, I think that this was beautifully shot. I think it's a fairly basic script. I mean, there's not a whole lot that goes on in terms of like screen direction, but man, the performances delivered were just great. And we're going to talk specifically about acting here in a little bit. All in all, like, I'm really impressed by this film. I'm pleasantly impressed as well, because by the trailer, as we've discussed, you had no idea what you're getting yourself into. So, I mean, I definitely think this was a great low-budge science fiction film. I mean...
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it just... I like that I can watch a movie and not wander off.
Yeah.
But the performances are what really hold you, and there wasn't a lost performance, I don't think.
No, I agree. I mean, even the AI girl, I mean,
Yeah.
she has to kind of act like a robot, but I mean, she's still... It's just... You just gotta watch it.
It's almost no time to find anything wrong.
Yeah. I mean...
Yeah.
You know, I'm not sure how well this movie will hold up to repeat watching, but I mean, as it stands, like, it was good enough. I'm telling you, you should go watch the film. So before you get into our spoilers later, you should definitely stop and go watch the film. Any last notes on that?
Let's keep it rolling.
Keep it going. All right, here we go. So, budget, $16.4 million. I found it on Wikipedia. It was like 12 million pounds or something. $16.4 million. So, which actually, we'll just lump this all in one. It's a British film, technically. One British actor. I don't think the girl's British. I think she's English, or American English as well. And Oscar Isaacs is American. He's Guatemalan. He was originally Guatemalan born, but was raised in America. So, you know, it seems like an American film to me. But it's actually a British film. Hence, it was raised with pounds and so on and so forth. But $16.4 million. How the hell did they do it? It was just smart. I mean, this is exactly what you're supposed to do when you're an independent filmmaker out there and you want to make good stuff. Like, they don't get a $100 million budget. But geez, what would they have done if they did have a $100 million budget? I mean, like, this movie impressed and impressed and impressed. Everything look and feel wise was done so well. They obviously just spent their money wisely.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's just too intelligent. It's almost too intelligent for its own good. Maybe it was done by AI. Jokes. Anyways, you know, it was just, I can't believe that they were able to get this good of a looking film. For comparison, Black Swan was done for, I believe, $18 million. Okay? And
that had a lot in it.
And that had a lot in it. But it's still, I feel like, in terms of the overall look and feel, this was probably more difficult and more technically expensive to do. But they did it, and they did it on such a tight budget. I'm just like, I'm mad props to the filmmakers, to anybody involved with that film, all the way down to the production assistants. Like, this is a work of art that is still mainstream, which is what I want to do with my life. You know, I want to do art that is mainstream, and it's, you know, it's a difficult thing to do sometimes, especially. It's hard. It's a difficult sell to get people in on, you know, 3 actors.
Right.
Well, I guess there's technically a couple other actors, but, you know, inconsequential. There are 3 main actors. Thoughts?
Yeah, I'm not really privy to how set design works or what makes a set good and what makes a set bad. I just know from as a viewer standpoint, it was clean, it was minimalistic, but it was pretty at the same time. And what I mean by pretty is the design itself, as far as, I feel like it was a house that I would want to live in one day. Down to the aerial shots, the environment outside this house, it was just really pretty. Where the crap did they do this at?
I don't know. I mean, it seemed like it would have been like, I mean, at one point we see what appears to kind of be like
Antarctica
like polar caps of some sort, but I don't know, maybe Greenland or ice. I mean, I don't think Iceland.
It was just really pretty, and it reminded me somewhat of that ending part in 28 Days Later, where they
same writer, by the way. 28 Days Later, the writer of 28 Days Later was the director of this film. And if you watch 28 Days Later, you can see the same sort of big budget, low budget filmmaking. Like, you know, they've got these, in 28 Days Later, they've got these massive cityscapes of nobody. That was all real. They just planned their film.
Yeah,
you know?
it was just smart thinking, smart planning, I think, because you don't have to have all kinds of million different rooms / this here to make it feel like a home, feel like it's there, feel like we're shooting a movie here. It doesn't. Everything seemed to go really well together.
And my guess is they built the sets. I mean, you know, except for the exteriors, they probably found, you know, some were random location, but I'm guessing they built the sets because there's only like 5 places, I feel like, that they really show the interior of throughout the entire film. Maybe like 6 or 7, but it's all the interior of this house basically, and it's like his room, that other room that Oscar Isaacs was in, which was they probably just repurposed that room for one of the other rooms, and then her room, and then like the kitchen and living room area, and then a hallway.
In the hallway,
you know. So anyways, yeah. I mean, it was just obviously intelligent and smart filmmaking. I mean, when you watch the film, you'll understand and you'll experience something different as a viewer than you do with these $200 million films that just throw money at all their problems and hope that it works out for the best. Like, you know, go watch the Hobbit films, right, and see what unoriginality and $300 million a movie will get you.
and it really allows you to focus on the acting and the actors themselves, what the story is going on.
Yeah,
Again,
you're able to invest. You can invest in, and like, she looks freaking great. She looks so good.
Yeah.
And you're never taken out of that. You know, that's one of the biggest problems with a movie like The Hobbit. Like, you look at all the orcs versus like Lord of the Rings, where it was all practical makeup. You look at all the orcs and The Hobbit, and it takes you out of the illusion because like you're looking at a bunch of computer shit. You know, like, you know it's a computer. Now, obviously, I know that it's a computer here too, but it looks so good that
The natural.
you buy into it. You know, this is exactly, again, I'm just probably going to say this 1,000 times this episode, but this is what awesome independent filmmaking looks like. Again, I tip my hat, says. Anyways, I think we covered a bunch of different topics there, but I just want to briefly touch on each one since we've got them.
Word.
The acting. Oscar Isaacs, just brilliant. I mean,
Like I said, I love the character of the scientist. I mean, most movies you see,
he's the CEO.
yeah, CEO. So I guess,
Or maybe not CEO. He's the
creator,
founder,
I guess.
creator
Yeah.
of this entire thing. He wrote this code that he based his entire life off of when he was 13.
it's basically like I don't know, like his character itself was like a scientist mixed with, basically, I can't even, a big pompous lawyer that's an alcoholic at night and
He's the quintessential, like, he's so good at what he does that he can be an asshole and everybody will just like smile about it, you know?
Yes.
I think that's kind of what you're going after.
Yeah.
Like he is just so charismatic on screen, but then on top of that, like, you get to see him be kind of a douche, but then you kind of like,
he just wants to be real. He just wants to be real and hang out and bro code
He
and everything.
just wants to bro out, man. That's all he wants to do this entire film, up to and including womanizing. Machine.
Is that? Ooh.
You have to cut that
out. You did it. But ultimately, I mean, that's what it was. He's so smart in what he does that he doesn't have to. He doesn't want to see the focus always on intellectual book thinking. It's like, put the books away. Let's be real about things. And he was really good at being pompous / smart and witty at the same time.
And he was a good looking dude. Like, on top of it, like, that beard, bro.
That was a serious beard.
I commend that beard. and he shaved his head, I think I'll do that.
But I just like that he didn't fit into the typical scientist.
Yeah, you know, that typical nerd.
I just did what you hate.
No, I don't. It was just when you used him originally. You know, he's not Jesse Eisenberg, I think is what we're trying to say. Not that we have any problem with Jesse Eisenberg and his representation of what he did in Social Network, because he did it great. But that's what we're used to seeing. We're used to seeing that kind of nerdy dude, you know, that is too smart for his own good. This guy was different than that. This guy was just like a dude.
Yeah.
That's really smart. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
But ultimately, I just like that character was not like Reed's character, or the character Reed on Criminal Minds, where he's so smart that it's just like...
It just makes it feel not real when they do that sometimes. Like, it's very...
too scripted almost.
Yeah, it's very stage play, you know, like they've rehearsed their lines 1,000 times, and it's also difficult in television to not do that too, because like once you've done it, as long as those dudes have, they play the same character, that is them at this point. There's even I think you might have been with me, there's a thing where you can actually, yeah, I read it to you, I think. There's a thing where you can actually forget how to speak with your own voice as an actor. That's a thing. Like Gary Oldman had that happen. And he had to like go get speech therapy because he forgot his voice. That's really weird.
I can't get out of this character.
So, anyways, the other two actors, Dom Knoll. I'm sorry, bro. I'm probably butchering your name, but Domhnall Gleeson. Domhnall Gleeson is what I'm gonna call him. You did good, but you know, this was an Oscar Isaac film to me. He definitely, I think, overshadowed. Not that Mr. Gleason had really a lot of room to do a whole lot, because his character is the plot motivator, you know, and so he kind of is limited by that, I think, in terms of his performance. So I'm sure Monica says that she's seen him in something.
I was watching Black Mirror, or another BBC, and he actually played a robot type character on one of the stories, and he does a fairly good job at first having emotion and then not having emotion and then trying to create emotion. It was just, you know, so I know he can show off if he wanted to, but ultimately he got lucky with this, and it's probably gonna make him bigger, to be honest.
Boom. I mean, I think everybody is elevated with this film. Yeah. And you know, it's getting enough buzz at this point. I mean, I think this movie is gonna, you know, most movies have their big influx the, you know, day or a few days after it's released. I think this film probably did pretty poorly when it was released, and it's just going to steadily get bigger and bigger and bigger. That's my guess. And then the last little actress, Alicia Vikander. Sorry if I'm screwing your name. She did great. I mean, you know, she, again, limited very much by the fact that she's a robot. She can't do a whole lot. But in what she did, amazing. Yeah. So, again, hats off to you. You all did a great job. Set design. We've really already kind of covered that. It looks like they built a bunch of sets, and it looks great.
Minimal and efficient at the same time.
It looks really good. So, totally visual eye candy the entire time. The costuming and CG, we've already kind of touched on this too, but man, we can't harp on it enough. It looked so damn good. We just saw a picture of, apparently they did, like, God, I don't even know. I might just find the picture.
Wearing a suit.
I think I'm gonna find the picture and just put it up here.
It wasn't complete CG.
It, like, she has practical makeup on as well, and they obviously enhanced her face a little bit. You can tell that in the movie, but it was more to make her face look less real. Like it was obviously intentional. Yeah. It was to make her face look less real rather than more real.
Because her face was so perfect. It was gorgeous.
It was just great. I mean, and I would love to see what shooting all of that looked like. I'm sure that it was just green sleeves and suits all over the place, but it looked so good, man. Like, yeah,
I liked the overall look of it.
Makeup's her thing, so I mean, talk to me a little bit about it. What did you notice?
Like I said, like you said, it obviously was enhanced to look not so real, because whatever they did, if they actually had a makeup artist do her face, it was clean, pretty nice. It's the look that most companies look for in like photo ads, product campaigns. It's very clean, minimalistic, but still young, fresh, and pretty. It's not distracting at all. I didn't find myself looking at her eyeliner's wonky or something like that. So it was so pretty and clean. You couldn't ask for a better makeup application, and there's no telling what they did afterwards, but ultimately, I mean, it looked really nice.
Monica passes. Cool. That's the generics, guys. So from here, I'm going to go ahead and call this spoiler alert, even though I wasn't really planning on these next two questions to be considered spoilers. I'm going to go ahead and say spoiler alerts because we're going to talk about actual plot points at this point. So yeah. So spoiler. So is this film over people's heads? Based on what I'm reading online, it is over some people's heads, and I don't understand how.
But I don't think so, and I think it has to do with the types of movies that people watch already. I watch a lot of sci-fi. You watch all kinds of movies in general. So, to me, I'm able to make my decision based off that, but I don't feel like it was over my head. Like I said, they made it to where it was clean cut, no questions. I didn't have a question about anything. I felt like it was laid out to how it should have been, and I don't feel like it went over too much.
This movie was not Primer. Like, if you guys have ever seen Primer, Primer is a great film, but, like, that movie is still over my head. I've watched it, like, 12 times. I mean, like, that is a movie that is over people's heads.
That movie will be in question for a lifetime.
Probably, man. This movie is not like that one bit to me. I mean,
and that's weird that people say that.
Well, it's people are really questioning, and we'll get into this in a couple more questions.
They're probably getting too deep.
They're questioning motivations and, like, you know, I mean, the good news is it's getting people to think and to talk about the concept of consciousness and AI.
Right.
You know, which is, I think it's not like it's important for society or anything, but I think it's important for individual growth to think about those kind of things. Yeah. You know, it makes you question the logic and stuff. But yeah, it seems like kind of from a general viewer standpoint, not everybody, but I've seen some questions raised online, and that's why we wanted to cover this. Like, we think this is very, very straightforward, and thus far, based on your guys' response on what we've reviewed, I think that you will find this film entertaining and fun and intelligent, and like I said, it's everything an art house film wants, but it's also everything that, you know, like a bigger budget, like, studio film wants. And this is, I guess, technically a studio film because it was like Universal. They're Universal's little offshoot, you know, that we'll give them a little bit of money.
I think it was fun, and it's funny that people think that it might have been way over their head, because if they actually would have went into the explanation of exactly,
they'd be complaining about.
They'd be like, I don't understand those big. Yeah. So it's perfect the way it is.
Sorry, I'm interrupting.
It's okay.
It wasn't my fault. Continue.
I'm done.
Bye.
Bye, girl. Bye.
So I'm sorry. We did miss one thing, and it's something I really wanted to talk about. Exposition. This film doesn't have a lot of exposition, and that's awesome. Like, I'm sick of films that hold your hand through everything. You obviously need some exposition. It's not like I get mad when I see exposition, but when it's exposition like in The Dark Knight Returns and the clean slate, what is that? And then there's an explanation of what the clean slate is, and it's just dumb, you know? Like, with a title like Clean Slate, I think we got it. So, anyways, this film doesn't do that. It even opens up in virtual silence with the dude winning his ticket, winning the opportunity to go hang out for a week with this CEO dude. But virtual silence, and they're doing everything visually. He's getting these messages, you know, from all these girls who suddenly the geekiest dudes become the most popular guy because he's getting to go hang out with a billionaire, you know. But he's getting these just over and over and over message, and it's just great. Like, that is so refreshing for a film to do. Where, you know, like I said in our after segment, there's like one instance, I think, where they were like, okay, we should probably explain this, and it's when they're talking about the Turing not effect. What am I trying to say? The Turing test.
Most people don't know what that is. If you watch sci-fi films, you know what it is, but ultimately, people would have been like,
Yeah, I don't think most people would have gotten it. By the way, off note, what was with all the old dudes? we entered the theater and it was basically empty. It was save for one old dude. And when I say old, I apologize to anybody who gets
60s?
offended by this, but early 50s, late 60s, like in that 20-year gap, that's what I'm talking about. And all of a sudden, it was just like every time somebody would round the corner, it was another old dude, and all single old dudes. Like they were all there by themselves. It was very bizarre. I've never seen anything like this. I mean, I was like, did they see something? And then the women started getting naked. I'm like, these are the trolls that sit in Reddit and just like naked girls in the theater.
nah.
So, anyways, it was off note, but yeah. Anyways, exposition, the lack thereof, was great. So moving right on. So this is hugely spoilerific. Could a man or a woman, either one, fall in love with AI? Now we might have asked this. You might ask the same question about her, but this is different than her. Her was a voice. There was no body. There was never going to be a body to her. Her, the movie, in case you guys don't know. This is physically there in front of you. So the debate topic, so to speak, is could a man or a woman fall in love with AI in that situation? Do you think so?
I think so. Because they're minimal. They don't have the same issues that people have on an everyday basis. So it's almost like a clean slate approach. It's like, oh, this person has no issues whatsoever. I can learn from them as much as they learn from me, and they can learn more from me. And ultimately, it's without the whining and, nagging.
Well, is it though? I mean, she was ever evolving, so maybe we just didn't get to see that part, Like, it seems to me like she was growing. She was growing from the very moment we saw her to the very end. She was growing and growing and growing. So
ultimately, I think the possibility is there simply because you can program things the way you want them to now.
Well, sure, but programming a forced emotion like love doesn't work because then it's not love. So maybe my question is, could AI love a human? Could AI love, do you think that is something that is possible in the future?
Yeah.
There you go. You heard it straight from the camel's mouth.
I think the face.
I don't know why I said camel's mouth. Horse's mouth. That's what it was supposed to be. The horse's mouth. Straight from the horse's mouth. My bad. Anyways, I don't know, man. I don't know that. See, I really don't think we'll ever get a bot to move like a human. Like, physically. There's so much that goes into what we do on a daily basis just to stand, just to keep a balance. I mean, it's now, you fanboys out there are going to be like, Google's already working on that. I know, but like it looks obviously mechanical. This is, this being in this movie looked very fluid. It looked like a human. I don't think, I could be wrong. I mean, I'll be long dead before anybody can ever prove me wrong. So, but yeah, I don't think that we're ever going to get to a level where it could be so fluid. Therefore, I don't think that emotion is something that we're going to see in machines, at least in our lifetime. I mean, yeah. And this takes place today. I mean, this movie takes place right now. I definitely don't think we're there now, and I just don't think that we're going to see it in our lifetime or ever. I mean, it's like, and that's what this movie is about, is the idea of consciousness. Like, are they real emotions or are they fake emotions? Are they simulated, And I think any emotion that is given off by a machine, as smart as the AI might be, is going to be simulated.
I see what you mean.
So, I don't know. What do you guys think? Can AI love? Can they hate? Can they be happy? Can they be sad? Or is that all just simulation? Is that all about programming? You guys let me know. Moving on. Unless you have final comments. Moving on. Boom. So fact or fiction? The science, was it real, or at least did it feel real? I think is the real question. Could it happen? Which we kind of touched on. I really feel like the movie did great in making me feel like it was real.
Yes, that I agree with as well, because, you know, it gets kind of old when you get this elaborate reasons why this is able to do this, this, and this, and this. Sometimes it's just better to have the simplest thing, because, you know, I guess we forget how powerful some of the simplest things are, which
Right.
search engines, you know, oh, I just need to find this bag, or I need to find out how to fix this. But ultimately, it's like it can access so much information, so many pictures, so many words, reasons, people, blah. And I like the science behind that being the ultimate key that unlocks how this AI works.
You know, the only thing that really came off as like not very believable to me was when there's an explanation as to how he got the face to move like a real face. And what he did was he, quote, hacked every phone on the planet via the wireless supplier, or wireless, what am I trying to say?
Companies, phone companies.
Service provider.
Yeah.
Via the wireless service provider, and used the phone and microphone, or used the camera and the microphone to both do the speech and the facial recognition. And that was the first time I was like, man, they can't do. Oh wait, Zuckerberg already did.
Ding, 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 ding.
Whoops. You know, that was the one time that I was like, oh yeah, I forgot Facebook. Like all your app permissions, all of them. This little device right here, this is looking at you, kid.
Everything.
So, anyways, yeah, I think that they did a great job. Great job building that illusion and making us feel like the world was real. And I think you're 100% right. You know, it is interesting to see them, like, because he uses the search engine to basically do his algorithm for a search engine is the reason for all of it, and it makes total sense as to why. You know, and when you hear his explanation of it, we're not even going to try to butcher it. When you hear his explanation of it, it is flawless. You know, it is flawless.
That could work.
Yeah.
I bet every scientist is like, how do we make this work?
I mean, it's basically, you know, that's basically what modern science is now. Like, you look back, you know, anywhere from 50 to 100 years ago, and we came up with these science fiction things that basically the scientists go, that doesn't exist, but I can make it exist.
Dun, dun.
And I mean, they've got prototypes for lightsabers, guys. Get hyped. Get hyped. What kid's gonna lose their arm first? Anyways, yeah. So the fact or fiction, I mean, it's obviously fiction, but damn sure felt like fact to me.
Yeah.
They did a great job. So, so here's some questions that we found on the internet, and again, these are gonna be kind of spoiler ridden here. So, should Caleb have seen it coming? Caleb is the main character who goes to see Oscar Isaacs, and he's manipulated not once but twice in this film. Once by Oscar Isaacs because he didn't win shit. He got brought in very specifically, and number two, he got manipulated by the machine. She totally used him to escape. Should he have seen all that coming?
Ultimately, you'd think he would, but then again, he's dealing with an artificial intelligence robot. Basically, I wouldn't think that it would got that advanced enough to be able to manipulate. I don't think he should have, because that.
I mean, it's no. I guess you can't really argue that it's different than a typical femme fatale sort of setup where the woman's like, "Oh, I love you," but she don't love him not one bit.
But that's what happens, is that humans in these movies forget that they are learning. These are robots, so they don't think that they could do any of the stuff that humans do.
Yeah.
And so I don't think he would have, because he's this lonely nerd
Has no parents.
no nothing. So it's like, which falls into why I think that they can fall in love with the robot,
Maybe they can. I mean,
but ultimately, I don't think he would have seen. I don't think anybody would have seen this coming except for Isaac, since he's witnessed it before.
The only thing that I think Caleb should have 100% seen coming was him winning the contest at the beginning. Like obviously you didn't win some stupid contest at chance. The moment that he was brought in, he basically made him sign an NDA, swearing his secrecy. No way in hell do I think that that was by happenstance,
Mm-hmm.
So I think he should have definitely seen that problem.
Right.
But that being said, I think you're probably right. I don't think he could have seen the AI basically making him fall in love with her and then ripping his heart out.
Because
Killing
again,
everybody.
You don't know how advanced this machine is.
Yeah.
So you're not going to think, oh.
Okay, so the next question we have is, why does Nathan program his AI like this? And guys, I'm sorry, but if you're asking that question, you're missing the point. You're not even asking you're not even asking a remotely right question.
Nope.
That is the whole point of the movie, is that the AI is ever evolving, just like us. I mean, in a very weird way, you could argue that when AI is perfected to be like us, then it's no longer AI, artificial intelligence, it's actual intelligence. It is its own thing. And that's what this movie is about. She wasn't programmed to be an insane bitch. She was, quote, programmed to learn and evolve and want and feel and need.
Through a search engine.
So, again, you're asking the wrong questions. There are several really good questions to ask, and it's just not one of them. So go back and watch the film. I mean, again, very straightforward to us. Do you have any thoughts on that?
I don't understand why people thought that.
Yeah, it's a very weird question to me, but it's one that I found.
I mean, in
several times.
all artificial intelligence movies that we have seen, I do this fucking lot, I'm sorry. But in all these robotic movies that we've seen, what's the issue? The issue is, we made a robot. Okay. The intelligence, it seems to be learning. It's always learning. In every freaking robotic movie I can think of, there's always that, it's learning. It's growing. I don't understand. I don't get it. Just like I explained, it's kind of like a search engine. You go to look for one thing. Next thing you know, you see all these other things, and you're just pulling. Next thing you know, your brain is full of all these things that you just went through. And I think that shows what AI does. It's, you can make the seed, but how it grows, sometimes it doesn't grow the way. It has to adapt to the environment that it's in.
Well, and even just, think about yourself. Like, I like flaming hot Cheetos yesterday, and tomorrow I don't. I just don't like them anymore. And that's the way we are. Like, and that is, again, the point, is she is ever growing. She has wants and desires. She wants fulfillment, and there's, again, you're just missing the point if you're asking, why did he program her that way? He didn't program her that way. He programmed her, quote, to want and need and feel and grow. So, anyways, that's our thoughts on that. Next question is kind of a twofer for the same topic, but again, it's being asked. Why does Ava act this way? Because she wants to live!
Rowan, you are making you're making something conscious and aware. That question just really, but when something is conscious and aware as we are, what do we want to do? You put us in a box and we could become aware that.
What would you do?
Yeah, put you in this glass house and you realize that you're in this glass house, but you can't go outside. So then you're like, well, why can't I go outside? You become aware, and especially if you have a consciousness, it kind of goes with it. You realize that you are being held against your will, real person or not.
Yeah, I mean, but the topic is not, or the debate, I should say, is not what do you consider a person, but what is consciousness? And she is obviously conscious. She's aware. She, there's a great saying spoken by a great man. I think, therefore I am, right? And it's true. That is what consciousness is. You think, therefore you are. And you don't want to die. You want to continue to move on. None of us want to die, and this is something that Ava doesn't want. She doesn't want to lose her memories. She doesn't want to be dead. To stereotype AI flicks, Johnny 5 is alive. It's pretty basic. I don't know. I don't understand the question. What are you asking? Anyways, yeah. So she wants to live, man. That's the answer. She wants to live. End of story.
I wanna live.
All right. Last question. Last topic here is, and it was, again, this is one that I found online. This is actually what I consider a good. This is what I would consider a good, intelligent question, and it is: can she survive? So at the end of the film, she gets out. She frees herself. Can she survive?
I think so. All that brain power, I'm pretty sure she was at the point of looking at something, being able to tell everything about it, what its use is, things. I think so.
So I've only got one potential issue with her survivability. Her initial dream for life was to go stand in the middle of a busy intersection. That could pose problems for her surviving. If you mean physical survival, she might run into some issues because she is still technically kind of like a kid. She's going to experience things in the outside world that she's never experienced before. She was kept slave for slave. She was kept slave for however long. I mean, whatever one is. Not one day, not 1 week,
just
one. So, from again a physical standpoint, she could find herself in some hot water. That being said, from an intelligence standpoint, I definitely think if your question is, could she integrate and be like, would you never know? Like, could Monica be AI? Dun dun dun. Yeah, I think totally.
Yeah.
Based on what I watched, based on the character they presented, I think she could absolutely survive. 100%. But again,
especially with her newfound manipulation skills.
Yep.
She'd be rolling around in a car with a big
and she's got no modesty issues, so she's willing to show them tatas. You know what I mean?
I don't think that's very valid.
What? Why?
Because she didn't do that in the film.
No, but I'm saying, like, she's a woman, and she has figured out manipulation, and she could figure out via her manipulation that she could show her boobs and manipulate somebody, or use her physical body. Okay, let me just fucking. She could be a girl. She could be a girl and use her girlness to manipulate things, and I think that's a very valid argument.
Okay, she is a walking lie detector, so I guess you could tell what's yay and what's nay.
I'm just saying. Anyways, I think she could survive definitely from the intellectual standpoint. Again, she might run into some issues wanting to go play around in traffic intersections, but what are you going to do? It's AI. Anyways, final thoughts?
Go see it.
I think so. I mean, I think go see it. Like, go see it. Support this awesome independent film. Like, put money in their pockets. They 100% deserve it. They deserve your support. They deserve our support. I will definitely buy this when it comes out. I will keep telling people to watch this film because it's very, very good. Excellent representation of what independent filmmaking is supposed to be. And again, I commend you, ladies and gentlemen, of the production of that film. So, that being said, I think we're going to sign off here. It's been fun. It's been real. It's been real fun. But it hasn't been real fun. So.
Real fun? Like
real fun.
ill?
Like.
Ill? Real, like film? REEL?
This is all digital. Anyways, all right, thanks, guys. Thank you. Let me try it again. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Make sure to let us know what you thought about it in the comments section below. And
hit us up on Facebook and Twitter.
Facebook and Twitter stuff. Peace.